Okay, it's my pleasure to bring in Juan Vitas. And Juan, congratulations
Thank
on
you.
your victory.
Thank you, thank you. But it goes out to the voters. Thank you so much for everybody that voted for me. I appreciate it. I'm grateful to be your next representative, and I could have done it without you.
Juan, talk about election night, because from what I understand, it was very close. What was the emotions as you saw the returns close and you eked out the victory? What was that whole experience like for you?
Well, I gotta tell you, I was really calm because I was always a winner. And what I mean about that is my name is out there. People, whether win or lose, whatever happens, I already won because, people know me and I got to meet new friends, new voters, everybody. Just it's great. It overall was a wonderful experience.
That's great. We congratulate you.
Thank you.
Now, you're going against the incumbent.
Yes.
Will there be any debates so you two can get on the same platform and discuss your ideas and proposals?
Well, I am certainly open to anything, and I think it's good that the public knows the candidates and how we are different, or how are we the same, or what issues we have. But I think it's good for it's healthy for the public to see the candidates, right? So.
And talk about what you'll be doing in the next week as you campaign to become the Assemblyman.
Well, it's with the race, it's you required a lot of money because you have to buy lawn signs, you have to buy literature, so and you also have to pay staffers, right? So we just came from a race and we completely wiped out, and it's like hitting the reset button all over and going back again. But before I forget, I want to also thank my opponent, Jack Vobis, who ran a great race and a very gentleman. Jack, thank you so much for the call. I really appreciate it. True gentleman among gentlemen. And, we both ran a clean race, and that's really how I think in the future it should be, because negative doesn't really sell.
That is heartwarming to hear, because, there's been so many stories in politics where it just gets so down and dirty, and especially here in Long Beach,
Yeah.
that's so refreshing to hear
course.
that you both ran a hard, strong campaign.
Absolutely.
And that as it was appearances that you were the victor, Jack stepped up and congratulated you,
Yeah.
and that's just so wonderful to hear.
Yeah, he's a gentleman. He fought a hard race, and he's a great guy. And it's very refreshing to actually get to speak to him on the phone, because we really didn't get to talk to each other because we're oppositions, but now we're on the same team. And Jack, I look forward to working with you, man.
Okay. Now, school started. I'm sure you're reaching out to a lot of parents, and I think that's one of the things that's important about this community, is doing everything we can for the future generations. And especially here in Long Beach, there's been so many problems with teen drinking, drugs.
Yeah.
There's been drug overdoses, all these things. To talk about how important it is for the community to band together and make sure our children are doing the right things and making the right choices.
Absolutely, and we have to create awareness and other activities for children to have that. Especially when they're going through tough times, you want to have opportunities for them. And that's why one of the reasons I'm going in for public service is just to help out folks. And we need a lot of resources. We desperately need funding as well for our district.
Yeah, and this is Suicide Awareness Month, and we're dedicating tonight's show in the memory of Brendan Carr, a 13-year-old student in Long Beach that took his own life. And I gotta believe, Juan, that September is probably one of the most stressful months for young students, especially if you're entering, like you're going from middle school to high school, or elementary to middle school. It's stress, it's pressure, it's meeting new students, it's having new teachers, it's putting pressure on yourself. Can you handle the load? So this is really, for a lot of young students, a very difficult time of the year.
Right. No, it certainly is. I mean, I remember, we all remember going back to schools and trying to impress our friends, and trying to have that status. And also, again, we were talking about bullies earlier, and listen, I've been bullied too. I think I don't know. I understand how it feels, and the stress, to add that upon that, and the homework and going back to school. It is a lot of stress. People don't realize that. And then, so we have to have some kind of outlet, I think, for the kids.
Yeah, and in the past, when I first came into Long Beach in 2010, one of the first people I met and had such a warm relationship with is Howie Wiesenberg. And when it was a big event or making a difference, Harvey was always in the community. And I always got to believe that one of the lasting legacies of Harvey Wiesenberg in his time as Assemblyman representing Long Beach was he was so passionate about making a difference for special needs. He had a severely handicapped child, and he fought for special needs like no other. It was so vital to him. So talk about continuing the legacy
Absolutely.
of Harvey Wiesenberg.
Absolutely. Again, Harvey is an amazing man. The guy is a legacy. He's tremendous and a champion for people with disabilities, and I will continue that champion and that cause. And I said today, I think I might have said it the last time I was here, but I do plan to hire someone with disabilities in my administration, because it shows that you are giving an opportunity to somebody who never has, and that's really important, and that's what Harvey fought for. We have to treat everybody the same and equal. It's about diversity, and diversity is not really also about color. It's supposed to be also people with disabilities.
Absolutely, and talk about some of the issues here locally in Long Beach that you really want to fight for and at the top of your priority list.
I mean, the number one is always the Sandy issue. I mean, the rain, the flooding, and we have to find other ways. I mean, I know we have the Army Corps of Engineers with expanding the beach, which is, it's great, but, we have to have other solutions that are going to be permanent, and other ways to find out how we can solve that issue and, get back to whole. We're not 100% whole yet.
Yeah, you saw what happened to the folks in North Carolina. It was devastating. And seeing the fact that Long Beach is a barrier island, no hospital in Long Beach now, and especially there's a lot of people living a lot longer, a lot of more senior citizens than, say, 20, 30 years ago. It's vital that, God forbid, we get hit with a major storm, that our residents are protected.
Absolutely. I mean, and that's key. I mean, you just said something else. We don't have a hospital in Long Beach, but we have to find other facilities, other technology, or making something like to save lives is about minutes and time, right? How can we get people into the emergency room as quickly as possible? Is there some kind of sensors, like with the lights, where they're all green, that if it's in case of emergency, they all may get a green light or something like that to save lives, because minutes matter to saving lives.
Yeah.
And shout out to our first responders, by the way. I always support first responders. Thank you for your service. We don't take it for granted for saving lives. So thank you.
And I do think Long Beach is blessed with a great fire department,
Yeah.
and great police department, because it seems like whenever we have problems on the boardwalk or in communities, they're always right on top of things.
Right. No, especially in this environment, we also have to think they put their lives on the risk for us. So we have to sometimes thank them, for doing such a good job and saving us. Because when our house is on fire, and actually I had an electrical fire many years ago, and they came here and put it out, So, or when we have problems, we have those first responders there for us, and we can't take them for granted. So again, thank you for your service, gentlemen, and the men of armed forces is also thank you. We don't take it for granted for our freedoms.
I want to talk about coming out of nowhere, being the underdog, and making a difference here in Long Beach. Because, 3 months ago, nobody knew who Juan Vitas is. You beat the guy the Democrats selected. So what's it like being the underdog, coming, making a difference when no one knew who Juan Vitas was?
It was, it's 1 out of 9. I heard that, they win a race, and I felt like Rocky, like the underdog, and you got to fight. And I walked out every day. I knocked over 5,000 doors, even in the heat. I mean, there was one point I remember that my shirt was completely wet. It looked like I got out of the shower, So I remember just knocking on those doors and saying to myself, I got to talk to each person. And that's how you win a race. It's the old school. It's just talking to people. It's a lot of politicians don't do that. And the other thing is I've been doing a lot of train stations. So tomorrow morning I'll be at your train station. So I'll be at Island Park, actually, tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock.
All right. That's awesome. And can I give you the classic underdog story and have you respond to it? Because I think it relates to all the underdogs in the world today. Go to last Sunday. The Buffalo Bills are playing and they're getting crushed. They're playing the LA Chargers. At halftime, one of their players, Vontae Davis, quit on the team. Walked out of the locker room and said, I'm done with you guys. I heard reports this week from experts saying the Bills are so bad, they're going to lose every game. They were made 16.5-point underdogs to Minnesota. I heard one expert say they're going to lose 50-0. So the point is, nobody believed them. They went into Minnesota today, a 16.5-point underdog, and they took it to Minnesota, crushed Minnesota 27-6. They were up 27-0.
Wow.
When nobody in the world believed in them but themselves.
Yeah.
What does that say to you about the underdog believing in themselves when no one else did?
It takes a lot of courage and strength and perseverance, and it's not easy. I'll tell you that much. But I think believing in oneself that you can do it and accomplish anything is mind over matter.
And Juan, I believe, especially in local races, it's that door-to-door local politics, getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, shaking hands, kissing babies, making yourself aware, hey, how are you? That makes the difference in old-time politics. It's not about, TV ads.
No.
It's not about who has the most money. It's who's willing to hit that ground running. And in your case, at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I think it's going to make a difference.
Yeah, I hope so, man, because I put a lot of energy. It's like a boxer going to a match, in the 12 rounds, and we're in like halfway now, and we're going to push the limit.
All right. We want to thank Juan Vitas for coming in. He's an inspirational story. We wish him well. He won the primary, and we wish him good luck in the race for Assemblyman. And good luck, and thank you for appearing on our show, Juan Vitas.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, voters.